name is Niao. I'm an agriculture engineer, and I work during 5 years as a certification officer. And now I'm working as a consultant regarding agriculture and forestry project. So today I will present you the main topic, which is very important and famous at the moment: how to manage sustainability standards in agriculture, group of farmers and cooperatives. I've chosen this topic because it's really important, and now we need to care about our food, the food we eat, and also if we want to work around the agriculture, we always need to consider the sustainability standard. So let me start my presentation by a brief introduction. As I said, the need for sustainable agriculture has never been greater at the moment. Climate change is placing increasing pressure on the natural environment across the world, threatening agriculture production systems, biodiversity, and natural resource use. These changes in turn create pressure on food security and living conditions for millions of people, with poor communities in commodity-producing countries often the worst affected. Agriculture is not truly sustainable if farmers continue to live in poverty and agricultural producers and workers do not enjoy fundamental human and labor rights. Sustainable agriculture means constant progress to improving producers' income and workers' wages. So, the main objective of this presentation will show you, and at the end of the presentation, I think we will know how to manage successfully sustainability standards in agriculture, particularly within a group of farmers or cooperatives, which is crucial for ensuring responsible and environmentally friendly agricultural practices. Then, how to implement sustainability standards if you want to work as a quality manager, perform an internal audit of a cooperative, to know mainly what are the points needed to check, and also be aware of the challenge of the farmers nowadays. So my presentation plan will be: first, in the first part, we will see the sustainability standards, then the management of sustainability standards for a group of farmers, and finally, the case study of sustainable agricultural standards, the case study of the Rainforest Alliance. Yes. Sorry. So let's start with some definitions and the example of sustainability standards. So the sustainability standards are voluntary first, and usually third-party assessment. It means that it needs to be certified by another party, a third party, like a certification body. Norms and standards that require products to meet specific economic, social, and environmental sustainability criteria. These are the three main points of the main criteria needed to check for sustainability standards. And the main objective is to demonstrate the performance of the organizations or products in specific areas. The performance can refer to management effectiveness, branding, product quality or attributes, to production and processing methods, as well as sustainable supply chain. So we can see in this picture sustainability standards need a verification process with a certification body, and the certification body will check the compliance with the standards and also the traceability process in the company. There are different kinds of sustainability standards, but they are based in 5 main points. First, environmental standard, which focus on environmental sustainability, including criteria related to resource, energy efficiency, waste reduction, pollution control, and conservation of natural ecosystems. In this section, it will focus mainly on energy efficiency and conservation, water management and conservation, reduction of greenhouse gas emissions, and sustainable sourcing. The social standards, because the sustainability is based on social equity, so it aims to ensure the organizations and the product uphold fair labor practices, promote social equity, and contribute to the well-being communities. It includes fair labor practices and workers' rights, community engagement and support, ethical equity, supply chain management, and equal opportunities and biodiversity. The sustainability standards also focus on economic standards, which assess the financial viability and the economic impact of an organization's operations and the product's life cycle. This may involve considerations such as profitability and economic performance, long-term financial stability, social and environmental cost accounting. Finally, it also focuses on health and safety standards, which focus on ensuring the safety of consumers and workers by regulating the use of hazardous materials, ensuring product safety, and promoting health and well-being. These are different examples of sustainability standards. We can note fair trade, which ensure fair wages and better working conditions to producers. ISO 14001, which is an international standard for environmental management system. Organic certification, Forest Stewardship Council, FSC, which certifies sustainably managed forest and responsible wood and paper product. And finally, Rainforest and Far for Life. For this Rainforest Alliance, we will focus on this example at the end of the presentation. So, how to manage these sustainability standards? We work with a group of farmers. This is the second part of my presentation. Generally, farmers join a cooperative, and this cooperative will be responsible of the implementation of a sustainability standard in their activity. The main goals of farmers to join a cooperative is to find the market, and we also can note their training, access to training, and also develop their project. Because if a farmer works mainly himself, so it will be difficult to him to sell directly their product. And also, if they want to get a better price for their product, it's better to join a cooperative. So to certify a cooperative, a group of farmers, the main step is first make training. All the farmers need to assess the training related to first the standard, and also they need to know the importance of the implementation of the standard and train them about documentation and all the requirements. Then we need to develop a sustainability plan which outlines the steps and strategies required to meet the standards. Different resource management, because as you know, the cost of certification is very high, and the implementation of standards is also very high, costly. So the resources are needed to promote sustainability, such as efficient water and energy use, which are conform with the regulation. The next step is to make a compliance monitoring. It means regularly monitor and assess the farming practices to ensure compliance with sustainability standards. We may involve on-site inspection, data collection, and record keeping. The next step is documentation and reporting. It means create a robust documentation system, including QMS, to demonstrate compliance with sustainability standards, develop regular reports to track progress. The last step is to make continuous internal audit. An internal auditor from the group will control of the activity of each farmers and then write a report. If they are compliant, they are ready to perform a certification process, which is done by a certification body. Sorry, there is a... I can... Sorry. The group of farmers usually need financial support, which goal is to secure them for the certification, and also it is crucial for their long-term success and market access. The main approach needed for farmers and for cooperatives can be identify funding sources like government grants, agricultural organizations, foundations, banks, or private investors. Develop a business plan, apply for grants and funding, engage with agricultural organizations, like collaborate with agricultural organizations, cooperatives or associations, and finally, explore government programs which goal is to promote sustainable farming practices. Let's now see a case study of one of sustainability standards, which is Rainforest Alliance. The Rainforest is designed to support certification holders to maximize the positive social, environmental, and economic impact of agriculture, while offering farmers an enhanced framework to improve their livelihoods and protect the landscape where they live and work. So it supports sustainable agricultural production and suppletions. For more information about the standards, you can check this link to let you see directly all the requested documentations and also the requirements. The main project involved with the rainforest involve especially agricultural producers working with coffee, tea, cocoa, and banana industries. The goal is to promote sustainable farming practices, and this includes environmental impact, conserving biodiversity, and improving the livelihoods of farmers and workers. There are different assurance systems for this rainforest, which is stated in their website. So there are certification rules, auditing rules, rules for authorizing certification bodies to determine which organic session can carry out audits and the requirements for certification bodies personnel. And to implement these standards for a group of farmers, there are different steps. First, agroforestry practices, which encourage farmers to plant a variety of tree species alongside their crops. Then, biodiversity conservation, which means to implement practices that encourage and protect biodiversity, such as natural habitats with farmlands. Organic farming practices, which means to encourage organic farming methods that reduce the use of pesticides, make diversity crops, encourage the crop diversification to mimic the variety of plant species in a rainforest. The last step is also make water management to implement, for example, rainwater harvesting, efficient irrigation systems, and protection of wetland and watersheds. Soil conservation, the farmers need to promote techniques like no-till farming, cover cropping, and mulching to prevent soil erosion and improve soil health. And finally, use of native plants, which encourage the use of native plant species in the farming system. The native plants are adapted to the local environment and can support native wildlife. So this is the brief and the end of my presentation.